G'day, welcome back to the channel. I can't believe this stuff's still going on. There's a whole lot of one side of the community that seems to have a bit of an issue with Xbox executives or Xbox higher-ups mixing with the community. And it's getting pretty stupid. Let's get into it.
We're on a mission from God.
So this sort of video is reacting to what Jaffe said earlier. I think it was today or yesterday in a video. This has sort of been developing through the week, but this is not just directed towards Jaffe. I got a lot of respect for the man. He created God of War. He created Twisted Metal. I'm in the man's Discord. He didn't just highlight one of my good friends. He sort of highlighted a whole bunch of us. So I did want to respond. I do try to keep things level-headed, but this one is starting to annoy me. So yeah, I'll just run this Jaffe video and just give my takes on what he had to say about what went down at Xbox Fan Fest. I do want to say, keep in mind, you weren't fucking there, Jaffe, and you don't know what went on. And that goes for probably a good 100% of the guys mouthing off about the Fan Fest. And it's pretty hard to see it as, I mean, I hate to think this of people's character, but it's pretty hard to see this as anything else but stupid jealousy, but it's not anything that you can't do. You can roll down the Fan Fest. None of us are special. We're just normal people, man, hooking up because we enjoy video games. But yeah, I'll play Jaffe's video and we'll go through that. Now I'm going to play this from the beginning so you guys have got the setup and you know what's going on and sort of where he's coming from in his video. I won't use all of Jaffe's video, but apologies I had to use some of it. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't know what I was on about. So Jaffe, if you got a problem with that, hit me up. We can talk.
Hey fellas, I was looking at the Discord and Mr. K sent me a video of the newest Defining Duke where Maddie and Lord Incognito were talking. And what came up, I know it's not live yet. I think it'll go live for everybody Monday who's not a Patreon member on Last Stand Media, is when I did this Constellations episode a couple days ago, last week. I said this. And then on Defining Duke, it got back to Lord Incognito, who I called out specifically. Called out's kind of like an aggressive word. It wasn't.
So first of all, the man's name's Cognito. And second of all, calling out is what you did. It is a type of aggression. It's what we call in the business microaggression. Because you're not happy about it for some particular reason. I still can't figure out why, Jaffe, this would bother you.
We'll see. You tell me, but I want to talk about this briefly. But here's the little clip from the show. Again, this goes live on Monday for most people. I will say, and I don't mean to come after Defining Duke, but I know it's different between Sacred Symbols and Defining Duke in the sense that, like, I don't think you'll ever see Colin Moriarty out there in the world at a breakfast with Scott Rhodey smiling like, isn't this cool that we got to eat breakfast with Scott Rhodey? Like there's a wall there that I think allows us to be able to go, he doesn't give a shit. But I know Defining Duke.
Why is that a good thing? Why is it that having a wall up against PlayStation executives where they will not communicate with fans, why is that a good thing?
Gives more of a shit. I've seen pictures that you guys have put up with the executives and all that stuff. And I find it's like, on one hand, it's good marketing for you guys, right? Because it's like, you guys are like, look guys, we're connected. And I think there's value to your personal brand of Defining Duke. But at the same time, I kind of go, don't give these guys, don't present these guys as special. Because
so listen, someone asked me, King Thrash asked me in a space the other day. I don't know if you follow him, but interesting character. But he asked me how many subscriptions I got after I posted a bunch of pictures with Sarah Bond, Matt Booty, Pete Hines, Todd Howard, how many subs I got on my YouTube channel. And so I'd like to share that with you now. 0 fucking subs. But that's not what I was there for. I didn't go to get subs on my channel. If I wanted to do that, I would have gone live. I actually skipped a podcast that week. So it's not about that. And that's not what we're there doing.
As in doing that, I think it kind of adds to that lack of genuineness about the reporting that a lot of people could potentially have. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
okay, so at that very moment right there, that's where he called out Cog's integrity, because he specifically mentioned the man. He also will mention us later on as well, but my integrity is not for sale. I can tell you Cog's integrity is not for sale. And I don't need to defend Cog, because Cog can defend himself. But on that one, I don't think it's necessary that he does. It's not necessary for me either. On many occasions, Cog's proved that he's happy to call out Xbox whenever they make mistakes. Now, I might be one of the most controversial small Xbox creators, because I will call out Xbox. And many times, a lot of the bigger creators and a lot of Xbox guys don't agree, to the point where I had a public spat that cost me about 200 followers. But I don't give a shit about followers. I really don't care. It's not about that for me. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing it. And when I don't, I'll stop. I enjoy the podcast, and I love the community. And people have this issue someone brought up earlier in the week, that what's this weird obsession with community? Anyone who says that doesn't actually understand what the Xbox community is like. And it's a large, broad community. And there's lots of different SKUs. There's casuals, there's hardcores, there's content creators, there's lots of different SKUs. And I'm involved in a whole bunch of different ones, because before I was a content creator, I was an Xbox fan. I was a player. I was a gamer. So I hang out with a whole bunch of casuals, like a whole bunch of content creators, a whole bunch of different people. And that's what the community is about. It's huge, it's diverse, and that's what I love about the Xbox community. And that's why I do it. And because I enjoy it for those selfish reasons. I don't do it for money, and I don't do it for followers. And I appreciate every single person who appreciates my opinion. So if you do, thank you very much.
But to the bigger point, though, I think that's what allows Xbox maybe to get a little bit more love, is that they do that well, and they're working the room. Phil Spencer is not your friend. Sarah Bond is not your friend. I'm not saying they're not good people, and in real life they couldn't be your friend. But
yeah, so to his point, no, they're not our friends. Like, insofar as they don't babysit our kids on the weekend. But will they interact with us in a genuine way? Yeah, they do. Not all of them, I'm sure. I've had some really genuine interactions that were quite surprising. It was my first time at FanFest. Really surprised. And if you had attended one of these things, it's the problem with half of these people criticizing what happens at these FanFests, or the fact that the execs, they have no interaction with these people. And they have not come to a FanFest, and they do not know what it's like. And Jaffe, maybe you've worked a room, which I think you're about to say, but that's PlayStation, and I think things are a little bit different on that side of the fence. Just saying.
They're not your fucking friends when they're at a press event. I've been on that side. I was working the room too. It's all performative. It's all to get the brownie points. And I just I wish they weren't so good at it, but I wish even more the fanboys or the news people that cover them weren't so susceptible to it. Because
again, he's questioning our integrity. So let me just back this up a little bit more. And again, I would back up Cog's integrity, but I don't need to. I think the man oozes it, so I don't need to. And me, I'll just say this to you. See that? That's a Bite Back shirt I got from Bethesda ANZ. Is for a worthy cause. I did a stream for Game on Cancer the first time I played Redfall. Feel free to go to that stream and watch my reaction to that game and tell me if I wasn't being genuine. I was extremely hard on that game, and then I continued to be hard on that game. Now listen, some people wouldn't have done that on a stream, a charity stream, but I'm just not the kind of guy that can sort of hold back what I think. I think what I think, and I say what I think, and no amount of money, no amount of hardware, no amount of anything is going to change that. So, I mean, this idea that, you know, a couple of photos, couple of t-shirts, couple of controllers, an Xbox, whatever it is going to somehow make Xbox creators disingenuous. Well, I mean, you want to pitch that the other way around, man. How about when PlayStation gives out their games and they don't get a favorable review and then they lock people out from access? Do you think that has an effect? Do you think that creates disingenuous views? I don't know, man. If you're going to cut it that way, you got to cut it the other way as well.
As I certainly think that contributes, not as much as the generational thing I was talking about, but certainly they're better at it and it seems to work. So why not keep doing it? I mean, what do you think about that, Maddie? I mean, do you agree that maybe isn't the best for your brand, or do you think it brings value when you guys are out there doing that kind of stuff?
No, I actually appreciate you said that. I love talking about this type of stuff. I think there's a fair argument to both sides, not to fence ride for a moment here, but just more so to say that I think it's fair if people look at, like, I'm trying to think, in my defense, I'm trying to think of a picture of me with an Xbox exec. I don't know if I have.
No, I'm thinking of the one recently.
With Redfall event?
No. What's his name? He's on Iron Lords. I love him.
Cog.
Yes. He did one with Sarah Bond recently.
Oh, okay.
But there were many. It wasn't just him.
Listen, I'd be a little bit remiss to call this out. And look, I'm from Australia. The culture is different over here. Things are slightly different, but I find it really weird that Cog's been pointed out twice in this whole thing. And then he's gone and pointed out Cog and Sarah Bond. And realistically, he didn't have to point out anyone in particular at all. He could have just broad spectrumed that whole comment. He didn't need to specifically. I mean, that may have just been chance, but it seems a little bit odd, right?
Yeah, tons of these pictures of lots. There was Aaron Greenberg at breakfast with a bunch of Xbox journalists or whatever, influencers. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say. I think it's fair if, like, people think there's.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it for what he said around that. He was just sort of sharing what happened on the show. He did just mention the breakfast picture, and that's come up quite a few times. So listen, let me run you through what happened, because people seem to have this weird view of what they think happened. I don't know what you think happened. We even had a full investigation, probably one of the poorest investigations I've ever seen. Was like a terrible episode of CSI from King Thrash. Again, this guy's name keeps coming up. And investigations is part of my bread and butter. It's something I do for work. No, I'm not a cop. But that's probably one of the worst investigations I've ever seen. Oh my God. If you want a good laugh, go and check that out, because he was talking about plates, and then there was something sitting down, and someone took the photo. I mean, no shit, Sherlock. Someone took the photo. Like, fuck. Anyway, so listen, this is sort of how it went down. I had Hargeet's number and I had Colt's number, and I was going to hook up when I got there, and this was sort of the first, I think, second breakfast that we sort of had. I think it was a couple of days before the show. It's all a bit of a blur. Okay, so I'm going from left to right. There's Colt. There's me, there's Hargeet, there's Cog, there's Addict, there's Ben, and there's Aaron, right? So me and Hargeet Called up Hargeet, said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going for breakfast. He said, no worries. He's staying in the AC Marriott, or the one that's attached to the Ritz or whatever it is, swanky hotel. That's where all the Xbox executives were also staying. Me, Colt, Cog, Addict were staying in the same hotel, coincidentally, like we didn't plan it that way. And I believe Ben was staying off somewhere else, right? So I rolled in first. Hargeet came down. We pretty much had breakfast together. Colt rolled in, I think, halfway through us having breakfast. He jumped in, grabbed breakfast with his lovely wife. She was amazing. Colt was amazing. All these people are amazing. Just pointing that out. And then I'm pretty sure that Addict rolled in just before Cog, and then Ben. And then I think Ben and Cog were sort of the last there, and they were finishing off breakfast. As you can actually see, I was on my second coffee. I don't think that matters, but I mean, I think King Thrash would want to know. And then Aaron was walking through the lobby of the AC Marriott. He was headed, I think, off to do some work on the show, and Colt waved him over. He came over. He came over and said, you know, how's things going? How you doing? How is your flight? How's things? Blah, blah, blah. Shoot the shit. You know, how's the show looking? Aaron's like, good. We're confident. You know, we think we've got it right. But, you know, we'll see. Blah, blah, blah. Sort of bit of a chat. Someone said, do you want to take a photo? Absolutely. Someone else said, do you want to do the X? Yeah. So we did. And that's it. The man was busy. He had a showcase coming up. So off he went. There's no conspiracy. It just blows my mind that everyone is just got these weird obsessions with this sort of stuff. It's strange. I find it really odd. Look, I just wanted to run through that and say, just put it quite simply, all these guys that I went to FanFest with are absolutely champions. The executives are really nice. Some of them will probably work in the room. Some of them are full on genuine. I can tell you Aaron is a genuine guy. He's a great guy. Yeah, I got a lot of love for Aaron. He's a good man. And I'm not going to go into detail on anyone else. But there was definitely a couple of genuine guys there. And, you know, some of these people wear their hearts in their sleeves, and that's just how they are. That's just people. And some don't. Some are guarded. And that's just how people are. People are people. We're under no illusions that we're, you know, like hanging out on the weekends, having breakfast, best buddies, living in each other's pockets. And we're under no illusions that they're there to run a business, and it's probably good for marketing. And I'm going to tell you, I'm under no illusions. It's probably good to have met these people for what I want to do. Like I want to be in this game for a while, and it's good to know people. But on the whole, what I can tell you is that FanFest is an amazing thing. It really is an amazing thing, and I recommend that anyone get down there. And if you do, contact me, contact any one of these guys, and you'll be invited to breakfast. You'll be invited to when we go for lunch. We'll all hang out and have a beer together. Like, we'll go see the show together in a massive group. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a content creator. No one was treated like they were special or they weren't special, man. Like, it's just a great community. I can't stress it enough. And this weird shit and negativity around it's just stupid. And singling people out, don't do that, man. Jaffe, don't do that. Anyway, if you liked the video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.